Good evening, gentlemen. Today we would be talking on a special topic which often comes in discussion when we are talking about thematic perception test. One question which most of the people ask, why should hero be of the same age and sex? That's a fundamental question asked. Though we have tried to talk many times in all our presentations, you must have seen where I always say the hero must always be, to the extent possible, of the same age and sex. But the problem is why? That is what we'll try and discuss today. Let's talk about, before we go on to that, just for information all, I have co-authored about 4 books on the subject of psychology as well as on uh, SSV. And you've got about 200 odd video on the subject, which many of you would have seen it. Besides, there are a number of presentations on slides here. You can Google Kanmukti Prasad presentation and you'll find all of them. Okay. Notwithstanding same, let's come back to the 4 books that we have written, which is of importance. One is called Decoding Services Selection Board, a career in Armed Forces as an officer. It's available on the link I have provided. Second is Psychology for All, Volume 1. It's about 500 odd pages. Psychology for All, Volume 2. Psychology for All, Volume 3. And the process of completing Psychology for All, Volume 4. Notwithstanding the same, today's topic I said, why should hero be of same sex and age in tier 2 story? Which many people have questioned back. Some of you have written comments also that is not okay. Okay. So the first and foremost, let's talk about the hero. Who the hero is? Hero, heroine, usually the person who is most frequently referred into the story, and subject identifies with the hero. So this hero that you are making is something similar to you. And if you're not very clear, the story character who is most similar to the subject in terms of age, sex, and other characteristics, that is what we, on interpreting the story, that is what we try and look around for. In case there is certain uncertainty to check who the hero is, then as an assessor, he concentrates on his or her feeling, beliefs, and behaviors. And ultimately, a hero is rated in terms of interest, traits, abilities, adequacy, and body language, which I can only imagine based upon the story that you have written. And finally, adequacy, the hero here refer to the ability to complete tasks in acceptable manner, which should be socially, emotionally, morally, and intellectually correct. Now, if that is the case now, first and foremost, I'm just quoting from some of the research papers. First and foremost is, as I said, TAT is given by Morgan Murray, 1935. He noticed a substantial problem associated with the concept. There are a specific theme where women can only identify themselves with the female protagonist, and men with only main protagonist, that is hero. There are circumstances because both men and women are made biologically and through the process of evolution slightly different. So naturally, father has got more relationship with son and mother with the daughter. Although there is no evidence that achievement themes are also gender specific, both today you can say both men and women are alike. And performance wise, somewhere if women are now outspacing men. There is some evidence that people normally identify themselves with a person of the same gender in the picture. So the TAT is also used in gender and sexuality research activities. Gender identity, therefore, is that the protocol represents the inner world of a person and the specific uh, stimulus, that is the card, or in the case so SSB, the pictures that we show it to, that which evokes motive according to the people's personal experiences. So if a woman sees a woman in the picture doing work, that she also often does it probably would be more, it would stimulate more in some feeling in her, because the first situation is more similar to her own experience. Because if any woman is doing it, looking at it, you also try and identify with the women, a men with the men. Now, Kurtz had pointed out that the interpretation of women's deity appears a story with a male protagonist may be confounded by gender-specific attitudes. So it will, there are chances that women or girls will make men as hero. Possibilities are there, but that again depends upon the attitude. Women's to be more associated with the affiliation and sociability because they are good at making friendship. They are housekeeper. They are people who look after the society. They are people who nurture the children. Then the achievement and control. Though this barrier is getting blurred now because both men and women are working almost the same pace and achieving results desired. As far as Natinsky assumed that pictures of women to trigger more fear-related content because women are more fear-motivated. No, normally story we say is that women get no scared with the cockroaches. That is what we people generally be talking, which is out of place now. Achievements motive is a though it is constant and it is more no associated with a male. And male, in case of male, have a higher hope of success. When the things are not going right, men still hold on to it. And they feel that today or tomorrow they will achieve the success that is desired. And as far as women are concerned, fear of failure is slightly higher. They get that this is the reason the men or the male authority in the picture is not as threatening as for women. Both men and women with high fear of failure avoid to choose medium or avoided to choose medium difficult task. So no, that the problem is, so that's the reason, that's one of the reason why we always say that men should be associated, no, we should make a hero as men and women as ladies or girls. Now, thematic upper perception test story writing is this widely advised, though not the strict sense, universal rule in clinical setting, that the protagonist or hero be of the same sex and approximate age as the person taking the test, as we have already elaborated earlier, quoting you the various research paper on the subject. This guideline is based on the projection technique, projection based on projection hypothesis that which suggests that the test taker, that is the you are who is giving the writing the story, will more readily identify with the similar character, that the men only, therefore projecting their own inner thoughts, emotion, personal experience, needs, and conflicts into the story. What are the reasons for it? Reasons are facilitates identification. A hero is one who is similar to age and sex and acts as an alter ego or the proxy hero. So the hero that you're making a story, he is nothing but you. So as a result, now it is quite logical that the age and sex of the hero should also be approximately the same. It cannot be, if you are 18 years, it cannot be make the hero every time 18. Probably it can be, say, 20, 22. It can be 15, 16. But it should be approximately the same age and sex. This makes it easier for the individual to subconsciously project their own personality traits. Okay, that's the own personality traits, motivation and attitude onto the characters and actions and decisions. It reveals authentic personality trait. The primary goal of TAT is to understand the test taker's underlying personality, values, and attitude. And by identifying with the hero, the individual is more likely to write a story that reflects their true self rather than a fictionalized account. So when you make men who make women as hero, well, that's a fictitious. Third, next is enhance reliability, relatability, and realism. Creating a story around a relatable character, similar age, gender, and perhaps occupation or background, encourages practical and realistic problem solving within the narrative. This allows assessor to the evaluate correctly as per individual concern. Okay. Evaluate the evaluate how the test taker might handle real life scenarios. So this gives an inkling how would you was as a hero in your real life would solve the problem. It aids interpretation. These stories do not have formal scoring system, TAT, though there are so many 3, 4 techniques are available nowadays. Here, a psychologist is trained to rely on the clinical judgment to interpret the themes and the dynamics presented. Knowing the hero is a reflection of the test takers helps the psychologist conceptualize and interpret the story contents within the subject personal history, age, and sex. Now, next is what you call context in selection process. In SSB, in a specific context like the services selection board, interviews, the guideline is often presented as a key rule. Assessor look for options like qualities, and we know there are 15 qualities over and above motivation, trainability, and insight also comes into play. And a consistent positive personality through the action of the hero. A story with the hero of the same age and sex allows the candidate to naturally showcase these qualities in a believable manner. While some coaching centers present this as an inflexible rule, the core psychological principle is to maximize the projection of one's own self onto the story's main character for an accurate evaluation. If that is the case now, so they are the reasons why heroes should always be of the same age and sex. Okay. If we have to think, so this question has been coming to us many a time, and as a matter, if you look a few about almost a year back, there was serious discussion and the comments went on. Where is it written that heroes should be of the same age and sex? Primary reason still remains is a projective technique. Projection of what? Projection of your own personality. And if you make a hero of my age and time, so would it be your own personality? No, it will not be. Or if you make a hero a child, then what happens? You are still gone on to the younger age. So it's not your personality. Aim is how good or bad your personality is, and your assessor, you have to write a story, your own personality on the mind of the assessor. And if it feels right, then your personality, it means, especially in case of SSB, if you have 15 qualities plus 3, trainability, insight, and motivation are right, probably no one can stop you from passing. I hope this clears a doubt which is spreading all around. So I thought it is because many questions are coming on phone as well whenever I take classes. That's what involved. Lastly, if anyone is ever interested in attending courses, I do conduct classes online using Zoom. It is of 10 to 12 days, 1 to 2 hours daily to suit the candidate's requirement. Right then, best of luck. Thanks a lot.